Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into an idea that might completely change how you view your own potential. For years, we've all been fed this incredibly limiting story, right? The idea that intelligence is a lot like a seed, and from the exact moment you're born, its ultimate size and shape are completely predetermined. You either have the talent gene or you just don't. You're a math person or you're a creative person. But, well, modern science paints a far more empowering picture than that. Today, we aren't just going to talk about having talent, we are talking about literally becoming talent.
Let me just ask you right off the bat, where exactly is the ceiling of human growth? I want you to think about your own perceived limits right now. What is that one skill or that one subject or maybe a career path you've completely written off because you told yourself, you know what, I just don't have the brain for it? We all have that imaginary ceiling, but what if that ceiling isn't made of concrete at all? What if it's really just an illusion created by outdated science?
Section 1. The illusion of innate talent.
All right, to understand why that ceiling is totally fake, we first need to look at biological determinism. That's the old school idea that your DNA dictates your destiny. Well, the science we have today completely dismantles that argument, and the core concept here is neuroplasticity. It proves that your brain is absolutely not a static hard drive that just skills up with information until it runs out of space. It's a dynamic, living organ. Every single time you learn a new skill, practice a technique, or even just change a habit, your brain literally grows new neural pathways. It's why London taxi drivers who have to memorize those incredibly complex city streets actually develop physically larger memory centers in their brains. And the absolute best part? This doesn't just happen when you're a little kid. It continues all the way into old age.
Section 2. Your flexible brain.
Okay, so if the brain is this highly adaptable, flexible machine, how exactly does it evolve as we get older? Well, research shows we go through at least 5 critical stages of strategic restructuring throughout our entire lives. We see major transformations around age 9, then again at 32, again at 66, and get this, incredibly, even at 83 years old. A lot of people mistake cognitive changes in later life as just, degeneration, but neuroscience tells us that this is actually an adaptive evolution. Your brain is continually optimizing itself based on exactly how you use it. So if your brain at 83 is still capable of fundamental structural transformation, the whole idea that you're somehow too old or too set in your ways to learn a new skill at 30, 40, or 50, it's just scientifically false.
Section 3. Intelligence isn't just one thing.
So what happens when this constantly growing, physically adaptable brain develops in completely different directions? For the longest time, we've measured intelligence with just a single yardstick, usually an IQ test. But Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner mapped out at least 7 distinct types of intelligence. You've got linguistic intelligence for writing and speaking, logical mathematical for problem solving, and spatial for design and navigation. Then there's musical, bodily kinesthetic, which is absolutely crucial for athletes or surgeons, intrapersonal for self-awareness, and interpersonal for leadership and connecting with others. The really crucial takeaway here is that true talent isn't about being universally smart. It's simply about identifying which unique combination of these 7 intelligences you naturally lean toward, and then actively choosing to nurture that specific combo.
Section 4. The power of growth mindset.
But here is where the rubber really meets the road. All the neuroplasticity in the world and all those multiple intelligences you can identify will mean absolutely nothing if your own internal mindset is acting like a gatekeeper blocking your progress. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck spent decades researching this, and she found it really all boils down to 2 perspectives. In a fixed mindset, you believe your traits are just set in stone. Because of that, if you fail, you view it as the end of the road. It means you just aren't talented enough. You avoid challenges, and you actually see exerting effort as a sign of weakness. But in a growth mindset, the paradigm totally flips. Failure isn't your identity. It is simply data. It's just information for further growth. You view challenges as opportunities, and effort is totally embraced as the necessary expected path to true mastery.
So it all comes down to how we talk to ourselves. Just look at the difference between these 2 thoughts. A fixed mindset says, I have no talent for math. Boom, it's a permanent roadblock. It shuts down your brain's potential immediately. But a growth mindset adds one tiny, incredibly powerful word. Yet. I haven't learned math yet. That single word transforms a permanent limitation into a temporary state. It literally opens the door for your neuroplasticity to actually do its job.
Now, if you're sitting there wondering if this mindset stuff actually makes a tangible difference in the real world, consider this number, 2 times. This comes from a truly fascinating study conducted on 150 university STEM professors, so science, technology, engineering, and math. Researchers found that in the classes of professors who held a fixed mindset, meaning they really believed students either inherently had the gift for science or they didn't, the achievement gap between minority and majority students literally doubled compared to the classes of professors with a growth mindset. Think about that. A teacher's fixed belief practically cut their students' potential in half. Our beliefs about talent have severe real-world consequences.
Section 5. The formula for building talent.
So if talent isn't some magical, predetermined trait you're just born with, how do we actually get it? Well, we have to redefine it. Talent is not a state of being. It is an active daily process. Becoming talent requires a specific 3-step procedure. Step 1, discover your hidden potential. This is finding that raw material, your own unique blend of multiple intelligences. Step 2 is the heavy lifter, deliberate practice. The researcher K. Anders Ericsson spent his entire career studying world-class experts, and what he found is that what separates mere mortals from so-called geniuses is almost never innate talent. No, it is decades of highly focused, deliberate, feedback-driven practice. It's doing the hard thing, getting critiqued, adjusting, and then doing it all over again. And finally, step 3, belief in growth. You absolutely need the deep-seated knowledge that your brain is physically building new neurons to keep your motivation alive during those grueling hours of step 2.
As we wrap up, I really want you to internalize this reality. Right now, literally as you are listening to this explainer, your brain is actively creating new neural pathways. You are physically changing as you process this information. Therefore, the phrase "I can't" no longer makes any biological sense. It belongs entirely to the fixed world. Replacing it with "I am learning" is the key that unlocks the growth world. The only true limits on your capability are the ones you consciously choose to impose on yourself.
I want to leave you with a quick final exercise. I want you to mentally fill in the blanks on this thought right now. I used to think I had no talent in blank, but now I realize. Think about that one skill you've always been afraid of. Think about the thing you convinced yourself was totally outside your comfort zone. If your brain is literally ready to build the infrastructure right now, and the only thing missing is your deliberate practice and your yet, what small step are you going to take today to start building that new talent?